Hey there folks, Caleb Downing with SDI, and real quick today we're going to talk about why I think that you need to have a big holster. Let's talk about it. Alright, so a big holster, that sounds a little interesting, a little weird, and I'm talking specifically about concealed carry. I'm not talking about military law enforcement, that's a whole different category. We're talking about the everyday average Joe concealed carrying their concealed carry firearm, right? That's what we're talking about. And in that aspect of things, it even might sound even more strange that I'm talking about carrying a big holster, all right? Well, let's just get straight into it. I have three main points I want to make of why I think a big holster is better. I think they're more concealable, I think they are more comfortable, and I think you can carry more firearms in them, right? So specifically, let's talk about this. Whichever order we want to go in, more concealable, all right? I am wearing a big jacket. Let's just get this thing off so that it's not an excuse, all right? Let's get this thing over there. All right, so I'm wearing just a t-shirt, right? And if I stand like a normal individual, you can see the bulge, you can see the stuff going on down here. If I'm facing you, if I'm in a whatever kind of situation and I'm aware that I have a gun on, right? And that means I'm not totally sucking in my gut and puffing out my chest, looking like a weird troll or whatever. I'm just being a normal person. Most people aren't going to recognize that as a firearm. They're not really going to be looking for that, so they're not going to see it. But would you believe that I'm carrying a Glock 19, technically a 23, but a Glock 19 with a comp, with a big old light on there, with a big old optic on there. And I have also in here a extended magazine. Like, you can carry a lot of stuff given the right holster. The holster I'm using, this is not an ad placement, this is not sponsored, other kind of stuff, whatever. This is a tier 1 concealed holster. This is a big holster, right? This thing is made large enough that I could carry I can carry 1911 in here, right? I mean, this particular holster indexes off the light, not the gun, but I could carry a Glock 19, I could carry a Glock 34, I could carry, well, any of the medium frame Glocks, right? Not the slim line and not the extra, well, no, I could even carry the large frame. I have a Glock 29 that I've carried in here before too, so the 45s and stuff. All that stuff will fit in here. All right, so getting a big holster, the main things I'm talking about there is not the fact that the holster itself is big, but that the holster can fit the larger version of whatever firearm you're carrying, right? If I'm gonna go buy a holster for a Glock 19, I'm gonna get the one that fits a Glock 17, right? Why is that? Well, it's for the different reasons I've talked about already, the concealability, comfort, and now it's that you can carry a larger firearm. Is if I have a 19, I mean, I can always cut the end of the holster off if I really needed to, right? If I really needed to. Me personally, most of my guns, I either suppress them or I put a comp on them. So if it's a Glock 19, it's gonna be a 17 size by the time you put a threaded barrel or a comp on it. So I want the end of that barrel covered, especially the way that I carry. I don't need my nethers being toasted by a hot barrel or comp. I don't need that. That's not something I choose to have happen to me. So having a full-size holster will help you protect yourself or clothing, even if you're outside the waistband. It helps protect your clothing and things from getting burned and stuff on a hot barrel or a hot comp or whatever. It helps protect the gun. It's just simple. And what do I specifically mean also about it being more comfortable and concealable? Because those two go hand in hand. What I'm specifically talking about is if you have a short gun, like a Glock 43, right? Or 43X, it's a short frame. It's not that long. For a lot of people, some people it works perfectly fine, but some people, if you get a holster that specifically matches a 43, right? It can make the top of the gun top heavy, right? To where you have that whole the whole grip of the gun back here with all the bullets and everything. This is heavy. And even if you had an optic and stuff, that's heavy too. But then on this particular gun, the barrel goes down to about there. This whole system is long, right? But on a Glock 43, you're very top heavy, right? That rhymes. On a Glock 43, you're very top heavy, but you really are. You're very top heavy. So what that can do is that can push the gun out away from you. And that's the big no-no in concealed carry, because if this is out, it pushes your shirt out, and that just looks goofy. That just doesn't work very well. On the opposite end of the spectrum, right? Not opposite end, but where I'm trying to go is even if you had a 43X, but you had a holster that fit a 48, the bottom of that holster, right, is gonna help kind of anchor that holster to you. And so when that gun tries to be top heavy and push out, the bottom of that holster is going to come in contact with you, right? But it's going to have more surface area. It's not going to be as many individually single pressure points. It's going to have, like I said, have more surface area. It's going to help keep that gun from popping over on the top. Does that make sense? So even if you really like the shorter framed guns like the 43s and the little SIG 320s and stuff, even if you had a SIG 320, I would still recommend getting a holster for like whatever the longer version is. I don't know. I don't remember. It's the SIG 320 XL, I think it is. But getting one that would fit that, getting a holster that would fit that would help have more surface area, so it distributes the weight a little bit better, in my opinion, and it helps in concealability as far as that gun not being top heavy and keeping everything put away down south, right? That's my main things when it comes to picking a holster and stuff. Sorry, I just spit at the camera. That's my main reasons for picking a larger holster. I have honestly found that a larger holster, it does those things. It conceals better because of the reasons I've just hammered on. It's more comfortable. Again, it's larger surface area. It spreads everything out, right? And as long as it's a quality holster, not some hunky-punky whatever holster company that just slaps some stuff together and put a name on it, because those generally break and just don't work very well. But a quality holster, these holsters that I would like to wear, these tier ones, again, not an ad placement or anything, they're comfortable. They're very, very comfortable, right? And again, if you have a Glock 19 and you get a holster for a Glock 17, down the road, you might get a Glock 17, or down the road, you might want to put a comp or threaded barrel on that 19, and you still now can protect the end of that barrel and protect your nethers from getting toasted, right? Those are my reasons for getting a bigger holster. Maybe it made sense to you. Maybe I just spit out a bunch of word vomit and I just confused the ever-living daylights out of you. I hope that's not the case. If that is the case, I'm sorry, but if that's not the case and you actually learned something or you have your own opinions, we love to hear back from you guys, right? If you want to comment, if you want to tell us, why I'm wrong or why you agree or your personal choices of what you'd like to look for in a holster, particularly concealed carry holsters, we love to hear back from you guys, all right? Again, I'm Caleb Downing with SDI. I hope you found that interesting. See you later.